Welcome to Female Frequency Podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Jody Nelson, curator, artist, mentor, divine channel, and host of Female Frequency. I am here to bring you unbound forms of ecofeminism, reclaiming art, spirituality, and feminine power to revive the earth. Each week, Female Frequency brings you intimate conversations with trailblazers and amazing stories to ignite change. You'll find inspiring alternatives to the patriarchy, discover creative paths, courage, connection, and magic. Hear from the heroes who activate and restore the divine feminine for our earth. Each episode serves as a catalyst, offering wisdom along with practical steps to empower you to make a positive impact on the planet. Whether you're an artist, empath, or eco-warrior, there's a story here to invite awe and help you embody what I call the female frequency. Hello, frequency friends. Welcome to a full moon episode of the Female Frequency Podcast, a galactic journey where we go to the moon to deepen our creativity. Today, we're diving into a profound question. What emotions or thoughts are you filled with at this time? I'm asking because here in the Northern Hemisphere, we've got the full moon. We have so much potent energy of growth happening. We've got summer solstice here. I just think that this is such a great time to connect and go within and really unleash our creativity. Imagine the moon's glow reaching you. You are in the spotlight. You know, you've seen the moon glow over water. You've seen it hit a meadow. So you are now in the spotlight. Another way of saying this is you're the main character in the spotlight. This is your story. The glow of the light of the full moon envelops you. The moon is full. Ask yourself to reflect, not just on the world around you, but most importantly, the world within you. Have you ever felt a connection to the moon's phases? I mean, I sure have. I'm always a little more down to create things during the new moon and just reminisce and get full of energy of what I want to make during the full moon. And I've worked with a lot of women who work with the phases of the moon. I work with a ton of artists that work with the phases of the moon. Many cultures and spiritual traditions view the moon as a powerful symbol of reflection, intuition, and creative inspiration. By connecting deeply with our inner selves, particularly through this reflective power of the full moon, we can unleash our creativity, enhance our self-awareness, and totally trust our decisions. So here I am. I asked myself in this moon time, this reflection time, I asked myself, what am I full of? And I'd love to share what I witnessed in myself. What was coming up for me is I am full of ideas. I am full of spirit. I am full of female frequency. I'm full of my faith. I'm full of strawberries. I'm full of honey. I was just riffing. Started giggling. I was just letting my intuition take over and just witnessing everything that was coming up. I wasn't trying to judge, which allowed me to then giggle because I had just eaten strawberries for days and I was craving honey to go with those strawberries, so I made a honey cake. And as I moved on throughout my day after this reflection, I just remembered, God, the female frequency just talks to me in such soft, receptive ways. And I hope it does for you too, because later after this mirror reflection, I did a little research on the June full moon names. Have you ever noticed how many names each moon has? I mean, just to refresh us right here, right now, my research shows a nickname would be Strawberry Moon, Rose Moon, coinciding with the blooming of roses, the strawberry moons, because it's the peak of strawberry harvesting season in that area. Honey moon, mead moon, hot moon, planting moon. I mean, as I keep being more and more self-aware, and just to finish connecting the dots here, I mean, right now, I've already shared that I was eating strawberry for days. I was craving honey. I can also share that I have roses right now on my table. So it made me just stop, smile, and just find so much joy and love in these connections. And remember the everyday magic just from that simple riff of listening to my intuition, of saying, what am I full of? And it really was mirrored right back to me. And it just allowed me to be so much more creative throughout the day and just look at life with a different perspective. And as we think about creativity, we often imagine, or what could come up is that we immediately just go to some sort of like artist painting or musicians composing and writers crafting stories. But let's think about creativity in a much broader concept, in a much broader way. And if we do that, we can see how creativity can touch all areas of our life. It's about seeing the world from a different perspective, about seeing it from a different lens or a different vantage point, and finding unique ways of moving the energy. I mean, creativity is essential to problem solving. We know that, right? I mean, when we're faced with a challenge, we think creatively. That approach allows us to think outside the box and consider a solution that may not be immediately obvious, if we take a second and think creatively. But think about it this way: creativity fuels innovation. It enables us to develop a new process. Creativity helps us adapt to changing circumstances. It helps us find new ways of staying connected. Creativity is also about everyday ingenuity. It's in the very small daily acts of making magic and making life more enjoyable and joyful. By approaching everyday tasks from a creative mindset, we can transform routine activities into opportunities for expression. Engaging in creative activities, whether or not you're going to think of it as a big artistic capital A way, or, if you just need some everyday practical creative, it really promotes personal growth and can deepen our connection with ourselves and to others. It can help us understand our thoughts, our emotions, explore our identity, and communicate much more effectively. We can keep this creative energy flowing and going through us and not getting stuck. So, with that, I'd love to do the creative exercise with you that I did to help you unleash your creativity. And we're going to do it with the full moon's help. We're going to use and harness that power and help us look within. So, some of you are going to need to go dance it out or go for a walk before you get a little quiet, and that's fine. Go do it. If you can go outside or be in the light of the full moon, do this exercise a few times so you can start listening to yourself if you've never done something like this before. But if you can get that full moon glow on your face and on your hands and on your legs, let's do it. But the point is to find some time. Just find a second here, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. And then as a second deep breath, allow yourself to connect with yourself. Take a third deep breath and allow yourself to connect with that lunar energy. This energy is bathing you. Tune into your inner landscape. Take note of what's around as you look to the left inside. Take a note of what is around to the right. And now ask yourself, just like the moon is full, we're going to ask ourselves, what am I full of? What emotions or thoughts are you full of right now? What's bubbling up? What's arising at this moment for you? Imagine the moon as a mirror reflecting your inner world. What are you full of? What aspects of yourself do you see illuminated by the light? What insights are coming up? What are your intuitive signals that are emerging? Just witness it. There's no need to judge it. Just let it riff. Just let it come. You know, if you had a vision, definitely get your sketchbook out and make a sketch. Get your journal. If you just are hearing words connecting with your heart and your mind, just put those down on paper. Let it flow. Allow your creativity to flow freely. No expectations, no judgment. And remember, this is your sacred space. This is your inner landscape. You're harnessing some power, and this is the time to explore and express what's coming up. And you can continue with this exercise as you reflect on your experience. Consider the spiritual significance of what just happened and what that means for you connecting with the moon. How does this type of thing, how does this exercise deepen your understanding of yourself and your spiritual journey? For me, it gives me the time and the opportunity to keep connecting always. Remember that the moon's phases mirror our own cycles of growth, our cycles of introspection, and our cycles of creativity. Like I was saying before, sometimes, you just need to get your being full again before you express it all out in a creative way. By aligning with its energy, we can access profound insights and cultivate such a deeper connection with our spirituality. A moon mirror is a medium through which we can communicate our deepest values and our aspirations. It's such a great tool for dialogue. I love it. I think it's a catalyst for change and a means for expressing identity and resistance, for sure. Embracing this type of ecofeminist approach, it gives us an opportunity to understand our connection to the earth and to each other and how it's so vital. This interconnectedness reminds us that every time we may hear a music lyric or a brushstroke or a stitch, we're definitely part of this larger tapestry of life. So definitely continue to honor your connection with yourself and your creative spirit. I'd love to give gratitude to the legacies of women like Hilma A.F. Klint and Nancy Holt, who use their creativity to inspire and provoke thought, nurturing a world where every voice is heard and every story told. Hilma A.F. Klint is a pioneering painter. Her work continues to inspire discussions about the intersection of art, spirituality, and the mysteries of existence. I think she believed in the power of art. Again, she's a painter. If you haven't studied her, she's such a beautiful painter. And her process was a very meditative and introspective process and offered a depiction of spiritual realms beyond the physical world. She questioned traditional hierarchies and sought to empower herself and other women through her spiritual and artistic pursuits, challenging conventional notions of creativity and spirituality in her time. for sure. Hilma A.F. Clint was deeply involved in the spiritualist practices, and it's really evident in her work that her paintings were guided by spiritual forces or entities, I guess, but she referred to them as high masters or spiritual guides. You're just going to find different writings out there, but it was her spiritual guides. She was saying this. She also had a practice in automatic drawing, allowing her hand to move freely without conscious control. She believed this process allowed her to channel her spiritual messages and insights directly onto her canvas. Totally cool, right? I mean, you could study her forever. Nancy Holt is an artist who I don't think enough people know about at all. She created a lot of work, but the one I want to share with you today is one that is an installation that she has in the Utah desert. It's called Sun Tunnels, which consists of 4 massive concrete tunnels arranged in an open X configuration. Now, when I mean tunnels, you can stand up in these tunnels. You can still visit the installation today. And I know that there's going to be a bunch of things happening on Instagram and about the visitors during solstice coming up here. I'm so excited to see. I won't be traveling there this year, but soon. And each tunnel is precisely aligned with the sunrise and sunset of the summer and winter solstices, obviously giving us the connection that she has with astronomy and alignments and human interaction with celestial events. Holt envisioned these sun tunnels as an artwork that people could physically interact with and experience over time. Visitors to the site during the summer solstice can witness firsthand how the alignment of the tunnels with the sun creates a unique visual spectacle. And I'm just going to leave it at spectacle because if you look it up, you're going to see what I mean. It's lots of different full moons, if you will, or dots throughout. It's pretty cool. But it really helps foster a deeper connection with art and the natural world and the celestial phenomena, right? I mean, yes, please. More of this. I just believe engaging with art, we can contribute to a culture that values diversity and sustainability and equality. As we conclude today, let's keep the dialogue going and the frequencies resonating. Keep creating, keep connecting, and let your creativity shine in everything you do. If you're curious about more workshops and want to learn more about female frequency, head over to my website. That website is www.thefemalefrequency.com to see what's going on. Hey, thank you so much for vibing with the female frequency today. If this episode or any other episode has helped transform or shift your perspective in any way, please tell me all about it. Tell me all about it in a review where you are listening to this podcast. It will totally help me out and it will help spread the word. If you are a creative looking for more support, this is what I do for a living. I work with creative entrepreneurs and culture makers by giving them roadmaps, making them money, growing their audience, essentially making the business side of art easy. In addition to the one-on-one work I do, I often host workshops, and you can find out about those on my website. Go to thefemalefrequency.com. So once again, that's www.thefemalefrequency.com. All right, y'all, until next time.